This is Bolivia and this is Chile. Both are South American countries and speak Espanol, but it is well known that both countries have hated each other. Before I say the reasons, let's look at its background first, shall we? The Republic of Chile is a very vertically long country that looks like a chili pepper in space. It borders four countries, including Bolivia, with its capital Santiago. It has a population of almost 18 million people, and the majority speak Spanish. Oh, Chilean Spanish is probably one of the trickiest varieties of Spanish to understand. And it is an earthquake sandbox with tall Andes mountains and dry Atacama Desert. Much of the population is mestizo, or also known as mixed native and white population, with some indigenous population. And their flag looks very similar to Texas. The plurinational state of Bolivia is a country to Chile's northeast, bordering five countries in total. It has two capitals, La Paz and Sucre, with a population of around 11 million people. Spanish is the official language, along with 36 other indigenous languages, including Quechua. Well, it just shows that Bolivia has a significant indigenous population, with many still retaining their traditions. Geographically, this country is super diverse, where you can find forests, deserts, and mountains in a moderately sized country. Oh, and the world's scariest road is located here. Now, let's say this one. It all goes down to three words. Access to sea! Yes, Bolivia is a landlocked country. Obviously, Bolivia wants some access to the Pacific. Bolivia takes this very seriously and deep into their emotions. But why? Why are Bolivian-Chilean relations revolving around that? Well, history goes way far behind that. Before the Spanish arrived, Bolivia and Chile were mostly indigenous. Much of today's Bolivia and parts of Chile became part of the Inca Empire, a massive indigenous empire in South America. The Spanish arrived and ruled the region for centuries to come. When nationalism kicked out Spanish colonizers, the area known as the Atacama Desert became a bone of contention between Chile, who gained independence by 1818, and Bolivia in 1825. Bolivia claimed that the area is rightfully theirs so they can have a good sea access, while Chile opposed it. At that time, borders were not well defined yet, and not even until rich mineral deposits were discovered there. By the way, Bolivia had been flirting with Peru a lot, and by 1836, a confederation of both countries were declared. This upset Chile and also Argentina. Hence the War of the Confederation, which was a total defeat for the Confederacy, which later got dissolved. In 1866, some understanding had occurred as a border agreement was finally settled, and the tax revenue from the materials would be shared between both countries. However, much of the business is actually done by the Chileans, with British interests having a more stable economy, with Bolivia being in a disadvantaged situation, especially when its port city of Cobia was destroyed by earthquakes and tsunamis. A dangerous provocation happened as the Bolivian dictator Hilario Daza imposed heavy taxation on saltpeter, and when the Chileans refused to pay, they were kicked out and they removed all Chilean presence. This had a very dangerous implication as Chile responded by declaring the previous treaties as null and claimed it as rightful part of their territory. And you know what happened next? War! Chile declared war on Bolivia afterwards, and since Peru and Chile have signed a secret pact that they will help each other in war, they brought Peru into a war as well. The War of the Pacific was a decisive victory for Chile, pushing its territory northward by grabbing territories from Peru and Bolivia, which makes Bolivia a landlocked country. By 1904, Bolivia, feeling very salty about the loss of its coastline, signed the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with Chile to demarcate the borders and make the post-war borders permanent. In return, Chile will build a railroad from the Bolivian capital of La Paz, connecting to the Chilean port of Arica, allowing Bolivia to still have freedom of transit of Bolivian commerce through Chilean territory. Things remain quite normal but very tense due to Bolivia still hoping to gain full access to the Pacific Ocean. Bolivia has never gotten over the war and still expresses its saltiness on the loss of the coastline. It became quite severe that Bolivia decided to cut off diplomatic ties with Chile in 1964. Chilean leader Augusto Pinochet attempted to settle this never-ending issue by having secret negotiations with Bolivia, and with Chile proposing to give Bolivia a narrow land corridor to the coast. There's one problem though. The Treaty of Lima by Peru and Chile stated that Chile must consult Peru before granting any land to a third party in the state or in the area of Tarapacá. Peru did not agree to this, which insisted that the Chilean port city of Arica should be shared between the three countries, in which Chile refused. Bolivia broke off relations again, and the attempt to fix up things failed. Since then, the issue of Bolivia sea access remains a hot topic between both countries. Relations nowadays are mostly consular, and Bolivia refuses to have full diplomatic relations unless it will be satisfied in regards to sea access. The dispute was taken to the International Court of Justice, and in 2018, it ruled in favor of Chile, stating that negotiations and surrendering its territory is not required for the Chilean side. And here we are today. It is well known that Bolivia's aspiration to have a coast and to not be landlocked is part of Bolivian national pride. Every year on March 23, Bolivians celebrate the National Day of the Sea, or Dia del Mar, to commemorate the loss of the coast and to hope that one day they won't be landlocked ever again. They took it a step further. They established a navy in 1963 as a river force to patrol the vast river network of Bolivia that usually flows into Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina, and in Lake Titicaca. In 1981, they named it Armada Boliviana, and it has reached around 5,000 personnel. Despite this, their navy is sophisticated and with actual vessels and patrol boats, some imported from China and the US. But let's move away from the coasting for a while. As people know, most people don't hate each other. Many Chilean tourists come to Bolivia and enjoy skiing, and they still have crucial trade and economic relations despite diplomatic relations are bleak. Many Bolivians come to Chile to work, but sometimes also do some nasty illegal stuff. Both countries are also very vibrant, where Bolivia has beautiful forests while Chile has beautiful beaches. Just remember that if you visit in Bolivia, many are purely indigenous, and in Chile, you may have a hard time understanding their Spanish if you're a Spanish speaker. The whole coast up is what makes things complicated, as the Bolivian government and schools remind the future generations about the disastrous war of the Pacific. But let's get into this question. Will Chile and Bolivia continue to have tense government relations with normal relations in terms of people? Perhaps yes, unless Chile gives up its coast to Bolivia, but I don't see it happening in the future. And thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for more country neighbors.